Hey there and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to hide a geocache. So if you're kind of new to geocaching and you've been finding a few and you're ready to hide your own for other people to find, you're in the right place. As you've seen throughout the geocaches you found, the possibilities are endless, and so you really can be as creative as you want to be with the geocache that you hide. Now the most important thing that you choose, obviously, is going to be the location. And you need to make sure... this is like a common, this is repetitive, I'm sure you've seen this online, but your geocache should not be the only reason somebody would want to be in that spot. And I am looking very directly at you, guardrail caches. My mom stops for guardrail caches, I refuse. There's no point to pull off on the side of the road and dig a little thing out of a guardrail. And I'm sorry if you love them, I don't, and I think it's so silly. Geocaches are meant to bring people to points of interest, to beautiful locations, maybe it's a good wildlife viewing area or whatever. There should be some reason somebody would want to be in that spot, not on a oily, dirty, dusty side of a road, with cars whizzing by. There's no reason. So once you've chosen your location, maybe it's somewhere really special to you, maybe it's got a really great view, whatever it is, a historic landmark or anything, you want to be sure that it's okay for you to place something there. Obviously not on private property, right? You don't have permission to be there, other people don't have permission to be there. On public lands, it kind of depends. A lot of state lands have specific rules on geocaching. I used to work for state parks, and in the state that I was in, you had to let the park know that it was there, but otherwise you were allowed to put it there. So it's just, if you're going to do a public land area like that, like a managed space, I would check with them to make sure it's okay. But if you're in National Forest or something like that, or BLM, I think the sky's the limit. I've never heard of that not being okay, and that's where billions of them are. So once you've found a good location, you're going to want to choose your container, and your container determines what size category your cache is going to fall in. So if it's going to be a little tiny micro, or if it's going to be, extra large. I think smalls and regulars are a good place to start because they're small enough that you have lots of opportunity for where you want to hide it, but still enough room for leaving swag if you want to. So the kind of most common or cliche or whatever stereotypical is an ammo can, right? This is a plastic one. These are really affordable, less than $5 a piece. So you can get really good deals on these. However, you certainly don't need to buy anything. Some of the best ones, I'm opening up my case here, this is a vitamin bottle. Literally free. Pill bottle. This had deli meat in it. As long as it's waterproof and seals closed, whatever you can find. I have the most absurd pile of potential geocache containers in my house, and it's I need to get some of them deployed because it's getting absurd. So once you have your container, you need to figure out what you're going to put in it. Now there's a couple things that are just in my opinion, non-negotiable. And the first one is a label. So I'm going to show you the things that I sell on my Etsy account, but that's by no means saying oh, go buy this on Etsy, because you can make all of this stuff. I don't know, that's weird. I am proud of the things that I have on Etsy, but I'm not trying to sell these specific items to you. This is just an example. So these geocache labels that I have, if it'll focus on them, I don't know if you can read that, but it says, official geocache, please do not remove this official game piece. Visit geocaching.com for details and to join the game. So that way, if somebody finds your container that's not a geocacher, well, A, it might get them inspired to join in on the fun, which is great. But B, it ensures, or at least, hopefully deters people from just throwing it away or vandalizing it or whatever. Now, below that, the title up here, I have places to write in the name of your cache. And so when you do it on the, when you set up your cache, you have to give it a name. And so that's what would go here. Placed by, and I usually I always put my geocaching username, and then contact. And so that's there in case, something's messed up with it, or if it's somehow not supposed to be in the location that it was and somebody finds it, hopefully they would contact me and let me know that they're removing it, or, request for me to come move it. That's never happened, but I think it is good for people to have a way to get a hold of you that aren't geocachers. Now, geocachers can get a hold of you by your username, which is the placed by. But I just think that's a good thing to have. So in addition to that label, I also have a Muggle card. I don't know if that'll focus. There it goes. So these are available on my Etsy, but you could also type something up and print it out and laminate it yourself. Or there's a template on geocaching.com that you could print off. But these are mine, and this is what I wanted them to say. And it's, you know, big letters. What did I just find? So hopefully somebody that picks this up and doesn't know what geocaching is and opens it up will see that and want to read it. And I'll just read you what it says. Congrats, you found a geocache. Geocaching is a worldwide GPS-based treasure hunt. Caches are hidden and sought out by participants who trade items and or log their finds in the logbook and online. If you'd like to join in on the fun, sign the logbook, visit us on the website or app, and then go look for more caches. There are likely many caches around you at any time. And then the most important thing on the back, can I take something? If you take something, please leave something. So we don't want somebody to come and like pilfer through the swag and take everything because they don't know what it is. So I think it's really important to make it very clear that the idea is to trade items of equal or greater value. And so there's a little paragraph on that of like what's appropriate to trade. And then below that, can I move this container? And it's please don't. It's another little paragraph. It says that it's been placed there very intentionally, specifically, and the GPS coordinates are imperative for people to find them. Like they need to be accurate. It needs to be in that location. So hopefully this or something like this will help keep the integrity of your cache intact. It'll hopefully keep it where it's meant to be. It'll keep it from being vandalized, or vandalize isn't the right word. Like people maybe otherwise just wouldn't know what it was and think they just scored on something somebody left or forgot out in the woods or wherever. So I think that with the label on the outside of the cache and then a Muggle card inside, I think you're setting yourself up to have a comparatively safe, reliable cache. So we've got the container, we've got the label, we've got the Muggle card. The next thing, and this is not necessary, but I think it's really nice to have a first to find prize, like specifically for the first person to find it. You of course are going to want to stock it with some swag, if it's large enough for swag, and we'll go over that in a minute. But I also like to have a special little prize for the first to find. And I even say that in the cache description. It's like first to find prize of blank to first to find. The two that I leave, they're the exact same design. One's a pin, like a little pin, like push pin thing, or a sticker of the same design. And it's just, I just designed these stickers. It says geocaching, first to find. It's just a cute little, like, I don't know, I'd put that on my water bottle or something if I found it. So something like that. People sometimes will leave trackables. Like I've been lucky enough that a generous cache owner left a blank trackable that I could activate as the first to find prize, and that was really exciting. So that's an option. These stickers and these pins, or you know, whatever. Maybe it's just a bigger swag item than you would typically leave, and that's again all optional. You don't need to do anything special for first to find. I just think it's like fun, and it's always been super rewarding to me to like, I mean, first to find is great in and of itself, but if there's something a little extra, it's just like so special and fun. Finally, we'll talk about what swag you might want to leave in your cache. I'm opening my swag. I have another like ammo can, and I keep this in my car, and it's just full of swag, and so I restock my geocaching kit that I actually carry with me with swag from here. So I'm just going to show you some things that I carry, and maybe that will give you some sort of like framework to, you know, start thinking of ideas of things that maybe you would want to carry. I'm just going to go through as I pull them out. So this baggie is like a bunch of foreign coins. Like they're mostly euros, and I think that's maybe like what all of them are. But anyways, it's just like my kids love, they think it's like pirate money or something. So it's just like foreign coins. Smokey the Bear stuff, no matter what it is always a hit. These are little frisbees that get small, so those are really cool. I have a couple of those. and they just get all compact in this little thing. Petrified wood, I mentioned, we collect a lot of petrified wood, and I have a rock tumbler, and so sometimes I'll put like tumbled pieces of petrified wood. And this all, again, kind of like depends on what I'm trading for, right? Because it's of equal or greater value. This is just like a little hamster magnet, so just something really little. Stickers. There we go. So stickers, there's like a sheriff one, a bluey one, another sheriff one, a firefighter one. So stickers like that. Just little bracelets, those little, you know, like rubber bracelets. Moose keychain. And you'll also, and you probably have, if you're watching this, you've probably found some geocaches and seen like this type of stuff that are in there. So that's a good place to start. These are all just like super random little, like little creatures. Like here's a bouncy ball. So yeah, I mean, it's like anything that will fit in the geocache that meets those few guidelines is whatever. And the fun is in just like finding it and seeing the stuff anyway. So I wouldn't think too hard about it or let the swag be a barrier or like prevent you from participating in any way. You're also going to need a logbook and a pen, hopefully, if it'll fit. And so I use these waterproof notebooks. It's like Write in the Rain, but it's just a different like off-brand. And then a waterproof pen. These actually came as a set. Or if my cache is too small to fit this whole logbook, I'll just take a couple pieces of paper out and maybe tape them at the top and fold it so it's like a mini book, or even just like one sheet of paper if it's, I live pretty rural, so my caches don't get visited a ton. But if there's space for a logbook, you should definitely include something for people to sign their names. There are some exceptions to that, but there should be a logbook. That's kind of like an important part of it. I think that's everything I can think of as far as like setting one up. It's pretty self-explanatory on the website. I think you do need to do it on the web. I've always done it on the website, like on my laptop, not on the app. I'm pretty sure you need to do it that way, but I'm like 95% sure of that. And so you're just going to like follow all the prompts. You're going to name it. You're going to give it a description. You're going to put in the coordinates, and all the details that it wants, and, you know, a hint. And then it's going to get sent to pending for approval, and then one of the employees or volunteers from geocaching.com will make sure everything looks good and, you know, meets the guidelines for placing a cache, and then they'll publish it, and then you get to wait for the first find, which is so exciting. I mean, it's it's silly how excited I get whenever, you know, somebody discovers one of my caches for the first time. It's just so fun, and usually get to talk back and forth with them a little bit in the app, which is just like really great. I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, because I for sure want to talk about it with you. I think that's it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions or want to talk about it. And I'm going to post a couple more videos on geocaching this week, so I hope you'll stick around and see you in the next one. Thank you.